Good question, man. My number one thing is fighter safety, bro. And can I keep in mind I was a trainer before I was a cut man, so I understand the do's and don'ts of being a trainer and working with a fighter, the mental game, the psychological game. Like Andre Durrell when he fought Jose Esqueregi, right? That was, I think, the second fight. Well, Andre is taking the kind of punches that I consider they'll give you long term damage. They punch here and they go boom, right straight through there. And I'm looking at the doctors, and the doctors are talking amongst themselves. And so the bell rings, and I start working on Andre, and I say, look, the doctors are looking at stopping the fight. Do you want to continue? And real small, he goes like this, and I stopped the fight. And Virgil Hunter and his grandpa didn't know. Oh no, okay, one more round. I said, nope. As long as he said no, he's done. And the next day in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, him and his wife called me and say, Stitch, thanks, man, because I just didn't have nothing in me. But I saw that he wasn't going to win the fight, and I saw that he could have received some long term damage. So decisions that not only as a cut man, but as a coach, you should know the whole ball of wax and give your fighter every opportunity to win a question. It's a very good question that very few people ask. And you're talking about Breadman. See, and even Breadman don't know, but they were talking, him and the father were talking about stopping the fight going into the 12th round. So psychology is a big thing, bro. And Caleb, I love Caleb. And I whispered to Caleb, I said, look, man, they're thinking of stopping the fight. Stay off the ropes. Very simple. And he went the distance, and his credibility stayed, instead of him being stopped in the 11th round by Benavides. So little things like that make a big difference.
Now, in the Via fight, she got cut earlier as well. In your behalf, being in that position, obviously that was not intentional. But how do you go about that fight? And was that cut? Do you think that was possible to be stopped?
No, that was a controllable cut. And the thing about it, the way that cut was designed, the blood comes down here, so it's not like it's coming right into the eye, right? But it was a very controllable cut if you knew what you're doing, So yeah, that's it. And I felt bad for her. I talked to her after the fights, and I said, sometimes in a loss, the people that didn't know who you are now they know you worldwide because of your performance and the heart and soul that you had. And so, she lost, but I think she gained.
Fellas, questions?
No, oh, no, I was going to say not really too many more questions. I would just ask something more personal as far as how you saw the fight and just more on on the boxing, not on the stitches. You know what I'm saying? As far as that fight was with Tszyu and Fundora, do you feel like I feel like I know the answer already, but as far as Rematch is concerned, this falls under that category, right? Like the PBC should facilitate Tszyu to get a rematch based on the fact that he saved that card, and also that I think he saved the card, and also just based on the circumstances, the lack of preparation and the bleeding. What do you think about that? Your opinion on that?
Yeah, 100%. And like I say, if you would have had a good team, they would have stopped it before it would go to the scorecards, which would have been, up around the 5th round, and that would have been legit. Then you would have been guaranteed a rematch. Should this one happen as a rematch, they probably will, but you're absolutely right. With the changing of opponents. See, I would have stopped it early because number one, it was a bad cut. You're not going to stop it, right? It's going to continue to bleed and all that. But on the same token, the chances of getting a rematch were 100% better. And then not only that, but it gave Tszyu an opportunity to train for a guy that's 6'6". That's a tough choice to come in, from a Keith Thurman to a Fundora that's 6'6". But as you saw the fight progress, they were just literally just going through the motions of finishing the round and not knock each other out, and so